And speaking of Mrs. Downs, Arthur has run into her a couple of times over the course of the game, starting with an encounter in Saint Denis, and most recently after returning the girl that he found in the cave to her home in Annesburg. She isn't doing well, and Arthur runs into her once more as she's trying to solicit work from a couple of miners in the street. She doesn't really want to talk to him, but she does eventually open up a bit as Arthur tries to apologize for everything that's happened. She tells him that he should use his abilities to bring some good into the world instead of causing harm, and tells him that her son is working in the mines now to try and make ends meet. That doesn't sit well with Arthur, especially when he hears that the foreman isn't treating the boy very well, and Arthur makes his way over to try and remedy the situation. He finds the boy being harassed by a group of men at the entrance to one of the mines, and as Arthur fights off the bullies, we can revisit an earlier idea about the morality of society versus that of outlaws. The last time we looked at it was in the city of Saint Denis in regards to how people like Angelo Bronte weren't really any better than the van der Linde gang, but were able to get away with things because they have the money and influence to do so. But these miners show us that the rich and powerful aren't the only problem when it comes to a more civilized way of living. They've grouped up against what is essentially a kid and are treating him like trash. This is something that many of us have likely encountered in the real world. Bullies like this exist in every walk of life. They're often nothing more than a scared and pathetic individual that have pushed their own trauma deep down into the back of their mind and lash out at others who seem like easy targets to make themselves feel better and to give themselves some semblance of control over their lives. These miners, for instance, are probably miserable on a day-to-day basis. They don't make enough money to get out of their situation, and they don't feel like they have any escape from the mines. They've likely seen friends die, either in some kind of accident or because of the poor air quality that they have to breathe in, and they know that they've only got so much time before one of those things takes them as well. Like Arthur, their days are numbered, and they choose to lash out rather than try to find a positive outlet for their frustrations. Torturing some kid because his mom is a prostitute, driven to that because of a bad situation, and because he's easy to push around, is one of the worst things they could do, and it puts them in line with a lot of the things that the van der Linde gang has done on a moral level.